The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network. Any questions or concerns about what is said should be directed to the show host, whose information will be provided upon request.
Let's talk about the positive life, the positive life, positive life. Let's talk about the positive life, positive life, positive life. Let's talk about the positive life, the positive life, positive life.
Chairs in the way, but it's okay. I'll see it. Don't worry about it.
The top up there is red. I wonder.
No, I'm saying I can chair.
No.
Oh, okay. You know what? I didn't hear anything. Hey, everybody. We're sitting up here looking at this chair and no one told us that we were on. Hello. Yeah. Let me say my greetings to everybody. I'm just going, you know what? Y'all got to do better, okay? Yeah. To the Nigerians, to Cairo, to the Spanish, hola, to the French, bonjour, comment allez-vous? To the Indian people from the north and the south, namaste and wanakam. To the Filipinos, my friends and family, hi, family. To the Koreans, annyeonghaseyo, I got some new friends also. To the Japanese, konnichiwa. To the Chinese, ni hao. To the Cantonese, ni hu. The Guyana people from Africa, mei ma waju. To the Hawaiians, aloha. The Pakistan, my friends, assalamu alaikum. The Vietnamese people, xin chào. Ethiopians, Mediterranean, salam and shalom. Arabic people, marhaba. And to the Russians, we added them, kavazabu. And all the English people all over the world, hey, how y'all doing? What's up? Wave to them, Mom.
Hello. Hi.
We have a great show, and I'm hoping that it'll get better. Okay, y'all need to let me know when we're on. Yeah, I was talking about the chair and everything like that. But again, you know, when you have shows that are live, all blunders, bloopers, everything. You sometimes you can't say the name right, whatever. And once it's out, it's out. You know what I'm saying? So you know, you have some people who, well, we thank God for all of those who look at the show. We need the good, the bad, the ugly. You know, the critique, those who with us and those who with us. That's okay. Long as you're the audience, we good. Yeah, we good. You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, we'll get better. We'll get better on that. But anyway, last week we had the trumpet lady, Grammy Award winner, Sarita Thompson.
She was very good.
She was very good, wasn't she? Very deep in the Word of God. And I love the different trumpets that she has. She has all types. And kudos to her for winning the Grammy, Stellar Award nominated. You know, she does a lot with Dorinda Clark, Dr. Dorinda Clark Cole. And also Bishop Hezekiah Walker. And so she's doing it. She's doing it big. Even during this pandemic, she is just doing it. Yes. Keep up the good work, lady. Yes. Now, you know, this month, with it being June, this is the only month that's really for the men. This is the men's month. So, you know, even though it's a lot of other things that we talked about, but I like to talk about men problems, men's health, because, again, everything else always about the women. Women.
Right.
Good thing they have at least 1 month set aside for the men. Can we tell the Lord thank you? Yes. So listen, for the men, what they're saying is, and of course you can all look this up, of course, the type of testing that you would need, of course, definitely see your doctor. But what they talk about is like certain times when you do see your doctor, sometimes they may say like don't see him every year per se, or they may say see him yearly. It depends on what the problem is. But blood pressure, they do blood pressure screenings at the age of 20. Unless you have a problem with your blood pressure creeping up, because since they changed the parameters, of course, 115/75, now 120/80 can can be considered almost like pre-hypertension.
Right.
And it depends on if some people eat a lot of salty things and different things like that have things that aren't too good. So they want you to definitely get your blood pressure checked, maybe like yearly at the age of 20 for men. And then the cholesterol test will also start at the age of 20 because of heart attacks and different things like that. Also, the PSA, which is the prostate specific antigen, that should actually start at the age of 40. Okay, and also the colon test that they do will start at the age of 45. Now, this may change because nothing is really written in stone.
Right.
If you see a problem, something that's out of the ordinary, you go see your doctor. You don't try to figure it out. That's not the time to go on the computer and say, these are the symptoms that I have. No, let the doctor see you, examine you, and find out. Because also, and I'll get into more details about that later, about testicular cancer, which tends to hit the younger generation, the younger men, age 15 to 49. So it tends to hit it. So in other words, if you see something that's abnormal, you go see your doctor anyway, right? Prostate cancer is very, very prevalent. I just have the stats from 2019, and that was like 174.6K will get, that's a lot, thousands will end up being diagnosed in their lifetime of prostate problems. So, and the lowest for some reason when they did statistically, and I'm sure it's the same kind of like, the Japanese tend to have the lowest in prostate problems. So I don't know if it's the type of food or the type of things that they have.
No, I really think it's the diet.
It's the diet.
Yeah, I really do.
And then, you know, a lot of times they do have a lot of herbs and different things that they particularly use that we as Americans may not use. The highest, though, and of course, as far as prostate problems tend to be us African Americans, the men tend to have that problem. And it may be because of the diet, like you said. They talk about, of course, reducing the red meats. That type of thing. That could be also the culprit as far as that go. One of them anyway. And then, of course, they look at the family history. Again, if you see any problems, what do? You talk about it, you say something, you go see the doctor. We don't want to figure it out ourselves, okay? I'll go into more detail because that time just goes and we didn't really start like on time.
Right.
But some foods that may be helpful, men, for the prostate, foods that are high in lycopene, okay, that will help. I'm not saying you won't get prostate cancer or you won't have problems, but at least it will help as far as reducing your chances of it. Watermelon actually is high in lycopene. Tomatoes, which is, we're talking about the tomato paste, tomato sauces, those tend to be good as far as the lycopene in it. Just make it fun, you know, spaghetti and meat sauce or spaghetti and tomato sauce, I should say. Lasagna, pizza, put a lot of that on there. They talked about the sun-dried tomatoes, tomato juice, of course, spaghetti sauce is what they say. Broccoli, green tea, legumes, soy beans, tofu, chickpeas, lentil, peanuts, alpha sprouts. I don't really eat alpha sprouts, but anyway, the pomegranate juice. It may not taste that good, but it's good for you. And eating foods that are high in omega-3 fatty acids, such as your fish. The type of fish I'm talking about would be your herring fish, tuna, salmon, mackerel, sardines, and also trout. Trout also has that in it as well. So that's what you'll do in regards to that as far as to help your prostate, okay, prostate health. And of course, you want to go in and of course get the PSA. The levels that they're looking for is under 4. So like 2, those are good as far as the levels of PSA. Now when you get to like 4 to 10, that may indicate something's going on there. And it may be prostate cancer, but it may be like a benign, like when your prostate is enlarged also. But the doctor will do more tests, biopsy, whatever they have to do to find out why is your PSA, prostate specific antigen, so high. So I really wanted to hit that and hit it and quit it. And I'll go, through some more things in regards to men, because this is your month, men. Yes, it is. We'll talk about maybe testicular problems, testicular cancer, and all the other stuff like that.
You know what? I noticed you were talking about the red meat.
Red meat?
And not to eat the red meat, but to eat the tomatoes. And look at, and that's red.
That's the only red you should be eating, really. Well, that one and watermelon as well, like that.
Right, that's red. In other words, you put down the meat and pick up,
something else that's red.
The plant food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we're in the beginning actually we were they call it meat eaters, but meat meaning it was fruits and vegetables.
Right.
Meat was never animal meat. It was in the beginning when they say meat, they always talked about your fruits and vegetables. Right. And that's also what we tell people to even go toward now. Just to boost your immune system. Now, the COVID is still around. Right. Regardless of if you took the shot or not, you still have to wash your hands. And also go more towards the fresh fruits and vegetables, those things that are high in vitamin C, high in vitamin A, high in vitamin D, those type of things. I always talk about, this is what I said, I haven't said it in a long time, but I talk about ingredient shopping. Okay. So when you do the ingredient shopping, that means that you know exactly what you're getting.
Right.
So if you can't pronounce it, it's probably a chemical or something like that. If you can't, it's probably chemical. You can when you go to the produce, apple is an apple, right? I mean, some of them are organic, you get organic as well. They cost a little bit more, but it's more healthy for you. But you say apple, that's what's in it, it's apple. You say plum, that's what's in it, plum. Cucumber, that's what's in it, a cucumber. But when you go more toward the other section, and they have all these different names and different things, MSG and everything like that, it's like, if you can't say it, it's probably a chemical. Right. One thing about the newest store that they have, which is a German store, they talk about they don't have any MSGs in any of their things there. They have it, which is good. That's a new place that opened up. So they don't have any MSG, which is awesome, which is great. So you really want to go really toward that. So anyway, like I said, again, we talked earlier with one of the ladies at our church, and we talked about, yes, the COVID is still around. You can't get laxy-daisy, even though things are starting to get back to normal. Is what they really want. That's the goal. We're thinking July. We're thinking either July or in September. Hopefully things will be like really pretty much back to normal. But then again, we've always said, CDC has always had this report here. And this was something, I had to change the sign because, but this has been up for a long time. And I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but hand hygiene. And what it says is the number one way to prevent the spread of infection. Right. That's all kind of infections, people. Right. It's not just the COVID. It's all kinds. That's viruses, fungus, bacteria, everything. Right. The culprit, people, is the hands. It just is, all right?
Very simple.
Very simple. It's the hands. Wash it, 20 seconds, soap and water. The soap actually, with rubbing with soap and water, actually kills the fat part of the COVID. Okay, so in other words, if you don't have soap and water around with you, which is very cheap, dirt cheap, it's great, but you get the hand sanitizer, which has a certain amount, maybe 70% of alcohol in it. Mm-hmm. So you want to rub your hands and everything like that. Rubbing also gets all the germs off as well. But just by doing that simply can kill the COVID. Wiping off your surfaces with a fifth of the bleach or some type of Clorox kind of thing. Wiping off the surfaces, because sometimes it can stay on the surface for a certain period of time. You can look it up. Just go to the computers. Everybody got computers now. Go to the computers to see how long does it last on a wooden area, on a steel area, on a metal area. It lasts a certain amount of time. But every time you're touching something, just go wash your hands. If you can simply do that, you'd be surprised how that can eradicate a lot of the problems that we do have. Because a lot of times what happens is we're talking and we miss and do like this, and then you don't give it to yourself. Right. Now though they have these tests that are it takes 2 hours to get your results. And when they first came out with the little swabs, they had to take it and go way back. You know what? All the way back, so that's very uncomfortable, I'm sure. But now all they got to do is just swab the inside of your nose. It might take a little bit, but all they got to do is swab the inside of your nose, and you get your results in 2 hours. 2 hours. That's awesome, right?
That's good.
That's very good, right? But like I said, you want to, and if you're negative, that's the whole goal is to stay negative. So, you want to do the right thing. But again, the culprit is these hands. And I hope that they continue the social distancing. That's good. Even when people sing, I was talking about that earlier today. if they can even have the little, what do you call it, little face shield sometimes if you're singing, so it won't project outward like that. Once everything kind of gets back to normal, they still can't be lackadaisy because we just don't want it to go back up again. We don't want that. You know, we've been like this over about almost a year and a half or so. It's only about a year and a half, right?
Yeah, it has to. And by now, we shouldn't be having any problem with washing our hands and cleaning off things. We should be well schooled.
We should be well schooled now.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to say about that. That time just goes, but again, we didn't start on time. So,
Right.
But say a nugget or so, while I get this together. My phone.
Well, it is hot now.
Yes.
And people seem to be short-tempered. That they, fly off and what have you.
For some reason.
People are temperamental. That's what you call it. So, therefore, you need to control your mouth. The Bible said, "Let your words be few, and slow to speak, but quick to hear." The only thing we're supposed to do be quick to hear, but slow to speak, and let your words be few. Because if you, it teaches against a multitude of words, because we don't want to become, just keep saying the same thing over and over, and that create a problem. Mm-hmm. So control your mouth. And of course we have 2 ears. That means you listen with both of your ears. Only one mouth. That means that's supposed to be slow. And then pray.
Praying, yes.
And that's what it's all about. Because I want to be able to see all of y'all later, because the summer is hot and people are really losing it. So we want to stay nice and cool and keep our mouths shut, because your mouth, you'd be surprised, your mouth can be one of your worst enemy, because what you're saying. So control that. And let's have a nice cool summer. Enjoy it.
Summer's not really quite here yet, right? I think it's on the 20th or so.
Well, it's the weather.
The weather is summer. The weather is summer. We're right into like 90 and 100 degrees.
Right.
So what my mom said is good, Mom. You always give great nuggets weekly. I appreciate you. Also drinking plenty of water if you don't have a kidney or cardiac issues. If you have kidney and cardiac issues, you got to consult your doctor and see how much are you supposed to be drinking. But for those who don't have those problems, the cooling down would be some nice cool iced tea, nice water. Even we learned the coconut water is it's very, very, very good for you. I just thought, wow, this is awesome, as far as that.
The nice cold watermelon.
Nice cold watermelon, men, lycopene.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, well, let's see what's going on here, because again, I got to make sure that everything is a go. And where is my guest? Break time,
Let's talk about the positive.
Let's talk positive.
Okay, is my guest on? Because y'all have to do it right now. Y'all messing up.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The show is seen worldwide and has a variety of topics, including discussions from medical, community affairs, live entertainment, and everyday conversations with guests, including the entertainment capital, Hollywood, California. Let's Talk Positive Life reaches a global audience with over 300,000 views every Wednesday on Roku, Fire Stick, Facebook, and WBGR Network. Let us advertise your business. For more sponsor, donation, and advertising information, or to join the conversation as a guest, contact Renee Montgomery at www.letstalkwithrenier.com and click on Contact Us. So spread the word. Sponsor opportunities are now available.
Let's Talk Positive Life with Renee.
for me, you ain't gotta hunt. Cause everybody see me, I'm one with the public. Got me singing too late like One Republic. Look at here, I ain't tryna be no hero. May not be 100, but I'm definitely not a zero. They say it make a difference and I didn't even know. I hope to let you know that I ain't do it for the show. Looking at my actions, it'll tell you about my heart. The things I've been doing from the start. Overcoming doubt, procrastination, hesitation. Focusing on Christ, who's my daily meditation. Kimberly Michelle, Proverbs 31 lady. Virtuous, prosperous, the way he made me. Ask me how I'm doing, I would tell you I'm great. Blessed by Christ, better yet, I'm straight.
I'm riding, I'm flying, you know I stay coasting. Only way I roll is on that three-wheel motion. Talking the Father, the Spirit, the Son. It don't matter where you from. Tell them, homie, I'm straight. 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 I'm in the Whitler, got Trent said it, you know me. Fully directed, I'm trailblazing, he told me. Go change the game, blow the horns, and light the flame, make me known. And make it plain even if they don't wanna know me. Game over, no switching, no changeover. I'm riding off with my father in the whoop, the Range Rover. It don't matter now what they talking it, but I walk it. I walk in the word of God, so they put me up in the coffin. Yeah, looking at me like I'm two-tone. No holding my face down because my roof gone up in my zones. People are lukewarm, some people wanna stay still, now I move on. Got too strong, got my mind too blown. Not going hard in the paint, will send you home. Get it straight, I don't do this for y'all. Man, I glorify the King, baby, I do this for God. I'm riding, I'm flying, you know I stay coasting. Only way I roll is on that three-wheel motion. Talking the Father, the Spirit, the Son. It don't matter where you from. Tell them, homie, I'm straight. 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 I'm riding, I'm flying, you know I stay coasting. Only way I roll is on that three-wheel motion. Talking the Father, the Spirit, the Son. It don't matter where you from. Tell them, homie, I'm straight. Tell them, homie, I'm straight. Tell them, homie, I'm straight. I'm in the Whitler, got you. You know me. Coasting, three-wheel motion. Father, Spirit, Son. It don't matter where you from. Tell them, homie, I'm straight. Three-wheel motion. Father, Spirit, Son. Three-wheel motion. Father, Spirit, Son.
My guest, entrepreneur, and TV personality, Maisha Helton.
And Maisha, we're about to start in 10 seconds. Hold on 1 second. We'll continue that because I want you to talk about that. Yes, I do. Yes. Okay, and we are back. And listen, I was having such a great time with my guest who's online. Thank you, Jesus. I tell you the truth. She helped to keep me calm, and also my mom, because they know I go, I'm so type A. But my guest is online. Let me just say a little bit, a bio. Maisha Helton was born, I have to get this right, in Denver, raised in Utah, and you landed in Sacramento. I don't know if it's something also about Oakland also. She is a Cali girl. Okay. She is a Cali girl, y'all. Yes. And she is a TV personality, an entrepreneur. Look how pretty she is. And a Bible scholar. Oh my gosh, she is brilliant. I'm telling you. She is a Bible teacher and I love it. If you have questions in hair care, beauty tips, or even Bible questions, ask Maisha. She knows. Let me tell you now. She does her homework. Yes. She has her amazing hair care products, and we'll talk about that. And she is the owner of, guess what? 2 hair salons in California. And she says she loves making people beautiful. Inside and out, okay? Ladies and gents, here, she's called also the weavologist. Here is the lovely Maisha Helton. Yay! Hi, Maisha.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the intro. That was beautiful. Oakland, California in the house.
Oakland, California in the house. We have to talk about, I saw something where you did, I think it was an interview, and you talked about initially you wanted to go into the medical field.
Right.
Talk about that.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit, and then how you decided to go into the beauty, healthcare instead.
I definitely thought I was supposed to be in the healthcare field. I thought that's where I was navigating towards. I really, honestly, and truthfully thought that I was going to be a physical therapist with the mindset of I was going to be working on some athlete, and there it was. I was going to meet my husband, and we was going to ride off into the sunset. But life had a turn. I was working at a pharmacy, Rite Aid pharmacy, and we got a new pharmacist, and she didn't particularly care for me, and so she demoted me, thus thrusting me back on the floor, which I didn't want to do that. My best friend dropped the bug in my ear and said, you know, you really love doing hair. You should just go to school, and I'll help you pay for it. I listened to her and signed up for school, and it thrusted me into this amazing career. Unfortunately, my best friend died 1 month before I graduated, but I am eternally grateful that she pushed me towards that, and I named my daughter after her middle name, actually, Jocelyn Triggs.
Oh, wow. You know, I'm a registered nurse, and I just do, of course, the media just once a week pretty much. But even in hair care and beauty, you still have to know, you know, like as far as the skin, the disease, different treatments for that, and also pertaining to the hair, because the hair coming out, the follicle and the shaft. So you still have to know quite a bit as far as in the medical field anyway.
Right.
Yes, you do. You definitely, during school, I mean, we're trained on muscles and bones and scalp conditions. You know, we do the nails, the skin, everything. So we definitely have a background in just kind of learning the overall body and the structure and everything. But there is, you know, advanced education, which I'm a fan of. I think everybody, whatever field you're in, you should always do advanced education. It will assist you in just kind of separating yourself from everyone else. So even with creating my product line, I made it an anti-BHT product line, which is the hydrotestosterone, which is one of the leading causes of hair loss. So upon doing my research, I made sure that I put quality ingredients into the product, just so we can get actual results, right?
Yes.
When the consumer is purchasing it and using it at home. So yes, you definitely have to know your stuff.
You do. And I love it that you mentioned, I heard that you mentioned about, you know, how you do the consultation. You don't just put your hand on people. You look to see what you're dealing with first. That's almost like nursing, how we do the soap note. As they're talking, they're telling us what the problem is, if there's any problem with the hair, and then the visualization of looking at the follicles, the hair, as well as the scalp. That's awesome, because some people you may see, they may have various diagnoses, from the lupus to cancer to other things. Even people who have diabetes, sometimes they tend to lose their hair as well, or if they're under a certain amount of stress, sometimes those things manifest itself in the hair. Thyroid, my mom had a thyroid problem, and it actually turned her hair brittle. So it's nice when you have someone who really knows more than just, because some people just go and grab the hair and it's like, oh, you need a perm, and you're like, well, because of their diagnosis, maybe they don't need a perm, maybe they need wash and press instead of a chemical in their hair, which will take it out, you know. So I appreciate that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me ask you this, because this is what I wanted to ask. You know, we as African Americans, sometimes, you know, we want our hair long, you know, our own hair long. And a lot of times, you know, when it can be a little bit on the stringy side and long, but we're looking at it because it's like long, but it's thin, but it's stringy. And, you know, up the shaft, of course, sometimes it also, I mean, you know, it needs to be cut. How do you talk to your clients in regards to that? Because sometimes people are looking at, they're not looking at the whole picture. They're looking at, well, it's long, but they don't realize that it needs to be cut because, like, it's breaking, and in order to thicken it up, maybe you need to cut it at a certain whatever, as far as that go into more detail about that. Maisha?
Yeah, for sure. So honestly, there can be many variables that would cause someone's hair to be thin, right? It can be either they're using too much of a flat iron or chemical damage, or like we were talking about earlier, just overall just thin hair. It's natural, right? It's within their genetics. So I always tell people, of course, a lot of people want long hair, but you really want the best head of hair that your hair is capable of having. So I think the first and initial goal should always be having a healthy head of hair. That's number one. Then number two is, like, for instance, my hair is fine. So I know with the fineness of my hair, keeping it above the shoulder at the neckline will give it a weight line that makes it fuller, gives the appearance that it's fuller, right? Being able to, like, towards the bottom part, giving it a slight layer so it can have more movement. So I think when you communicate with the client, especially if they're just trying to hold on for dear life to those little straggly ends or something like that, it's just important to tell them, listen, sis, trim your hair before your hair trims itself, right? And so it'll grow back before you know it. Don't worry about it. And I know some clients, when they sit in my chair, particularly like new clients, they're worried that we're scissor happy.
Yeah.
I think the key is to always reassure them, listen, I don't get paid for chopping people's hair off and they don't want it cut off, right?
Right.
I get paid because I'm satisfying my clients. So I guarantee you, if I'm pulling out these shears, number one, you're going to get an amazing cut. But number two, it'll be beneficial to the overall health of your hair.
That's awesome. I love that. And I think you mentioned something about, with you being a weavologist and all that, you mentioned about we're not new to this, we're true to this. I love that. We're not
yes,
into this. Yes,
that's my line. That's one of my favorite lines. And I say that with all humility, but I will say this. I've been doing hair for over 20 years, and I absolutely love what I do and do what I love. And I think, it's really interesting because I did not start off doing hair extensions. Life thrusted me, opposition thrusted me into doing, opportunity thrusted me into doing hair extensions where I had to just kind of lace up my bootstraps and figure it out. And it's the best decision that I've ever made and decided to do. Thus them calling me the weavologist. It's just a beautiful thing and lucrative, right?
Yes, absolutely. And what I also love about you, because like I said, I've been doing my homework, is that you reach back to the community where you get with Good Day, I guess the Good Day, the news, or
Good Day Sacramento.
Yeah, and then you reach back to some mothers or some people just to pamper them, just to give, for a haircut and beauty, a wonderful makeover. How great is that? Wow.
Yes, and I adore that. I have an awesome team who's assist me with that. I have several segments within the Good Day structure. I do makeovers. I do a segment called Daddy Do's where we highlight dads. We bring dads together with their beautiful daughters. We teach them how to do certain styles and things of that nature. After they learn the style, we do like a Daddy Do showdown, and then we select the best hairstyle, all in fun. But that is what we do. I put teeth in people's mouths, got them memberships with gyms. This is the guise of starting with hair, but really just the overall package and just pouring back into the individuals within the community. And it's been a tremendous, honor to do that because there's only so many hairdos that you can do. But when you put purpose to it, it makes a huge difference.
That's awesome. That's awesome because a lot of times that also helps to boost your self-esteem. And I love it because, see, you not only work on the outer man, but you also work on the inner man. Yes, you do. As far as that soul, thank you, Jesus. Let me tell you, people, you have to befriend Maisha. Look at her on YouTube, all that, because I'm telling you, her Bible studies on Thursdays, oh my God, they're so good. Yes, I loved it. Working on the inner and the outer man. Let's talk about this. What's your favorite Bible verse?
Oh my goodness, I am saying, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not to your own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him and he shall direct your path. That is my scripture, right? Proverbs 3:5-6. I have I'm a product of trusting in the Lord.
Come on here.
And even before I knew Him, right, as my personal Lord and Savior, I always navigated through instinct. I just did not know it was the Holy Spirit. And when I tell you that I trust in Him despite what things may look like, even though life gets shaky, I definitely don't lean on my own understanding, but I acknowledge the Father, and I, like 10 out of 10, He directs my path. So that is my scripture.
Wow, I love it, because the thing about it is, you know, you can't go wrong by following God, by following Jesus Christ. He's going to steer you in the right direction. You know what I mean? And He's going to show Himself strong, that people are going to know that you're His child. Thank you, Jesus, for that.
Yeah, and even when you go wrong, He gets you right.
Come on here. Yes. And let me say this. I saw that you were the person of the year. You got that title twice. And you know, I told you I looked to see what's going on. Yes, I do. And I think you should get it. And you should get it for this year too. Yes, you should. Because the thing about it is, I need you to talk about the pandemic, as far as what did it do like for your business, and were there any miracles that happened along the way? You know, the pandemic hit everyone suddenly, unexpectedly. Really started in 2019, but we really didn't acknowledge it here in the USA, not until 2020, the early part. And then they started doing more things about it. Talk about what was going on with you and your business at that time. How did you keep your head above water?
Wow, it was definitely, above water. That's mentally, financially, and physically, right?
Absolutely.
So physically, I took walks every day. Mentally, I talked to God every day, throughout the day, and at night. Financially, I made sure that because this was like uncharted territory. So in that moment, I just kind of thought to myself, because when I go to work, that's when I get paid. When I don't go to work, I don't get paid. So I said to myself, pay off your bills. I did that, right? Then in addition to that, of course, I started the Bible study right in the midst of the pandemic. So as I was teaching Bible study, they were sowing into me. My pastor and his wife, like randomly, I would get, Apple Pay things that would come to my account. So supernaturally, God was whispering in people's ears to sow into me during that season. In addition to that, I received grants and PPP, which was paid off, by the way. My whole loan was forgiven. There was no fraud in that. And then, praise be unto God, we were able to obtain a SBA loan, which...
Hello? I think this thing went out. I don't know what happened. Listen, let's take a break. She was right in the middle of giving her testimony, people. You see how the devil, the blood of Jesus, yes. There she is, okay. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Something went out. You see how the devil was right in the middle of the wonderful testimony. Here it comes, acting so silly.
Oh, no.
Right in the middle. But continue.
Yeah.
Go ahead on and continue, hon.
Where did I leave off? I'm sorry. All I'm saying is that through the midst of all of that, I didn't miss a beat. God was whispering people's ears to sow into me. Thank God for my pastors. Thank God for my Bible study members. Thank God for the PPP. Thank God for the SBA, right? And the grants that were provided in California. Okay. And when we reopened our doors, the floodgates opened. It was like our algorithms kind of just went up to whatever it goes up to. And I mean, it was almost as if it was the first time we opened up our doors and people were just hearing about us. So God truly has sustained us through this time period. And I think, a lot of people were just in this season of busyness during the pandemic. Yeah. And I was in a season of rest and just allowing the Lord to minister to me. And so I got instructions for this next leg of the race.
That's awesome. We got to talk about your hair products some more. I'm looking at this. It's Me Hair. Smooth and Shine. What made you want to even go into that as far as getting your own products as far as hair care? I'm sure it's a story behind all of those. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes.
Good.
So, we wanted to talk about the Smooth and Shine, It's Me hair. your products more because what made you want to even do that? Did you see that there was something necessary that they did not have out there?
Well, definitely, it's pronounced, it's my hair, Smooth and Shine, M-I, but it's pronounced my. And definitely, you know, everybody's using foam wrap and laying the hair down for short hair or twist outs or, you know, braids and things of that nature. And I just wanted to kind of put my foot in the race. Definitely, I figured I can come up with something of substantial or quality ingredients and that it actually works. And when I tell you, when you use that Smooth and Shine foam wrap and lotion, whether your hair is straight or long, you want to use it as a mousse, you want to use it for short hair with molding or doing the finger waves or twist outs with natural hair, I guarantee you that this product is going to work for you. Lay the hair down, give it a smooth look without having it be flaky or gummy or anything like that. I wanted to do a product line because I had the opportunity to do a product line, and I just stepped out on faith, and I'm just tremendously grateful that I was able to do it.
That's awesome. And how creative is that you have it, it's my hair, and you spelled it the M-I? Because I thought it was like saying Mia, but it's my hair. That's
it's my, yes.
My hair. Yes. And let me ask you this. I love it that if someone comes to you, like I said, I watch you and see what you say. You tell people, don't talk about the other hairstylist. Someone who you came from, you don't like that. You know, like you have that. What they say, that take a bone, bring a bone kind of thing.
Yeah.
That you're not. I love it because you'd be surprised. I mean, badmouth that person and didn't know really. You only hear one side of it. You didn't hear the other side of that story. But how the hairdressers? I mean. Y'all stick together as far as that go. Hopefully they stick together as well and don't talk about each other. But I love that you don't believe in the bashing.
Yeah, I don't want to, because the same way that you're coming in talking about your previous hairstylist, you will leave and talk about me. So I don't even want to entertain it. Nor if a client comes in and they are displeased with the actual hairstyle, I do not degrade or talk down about how the hairstylist achieved whatever said. Look, it's like we're in the moment right now. I'm happy that you're here. How may I assist you? And I just think that that's the way that it goes because I can almost guarantee you if my part in the conversation is translated through another interpreter, they probably won't tell my part well, and I'll just get caught up in some mess, and I'm not into mess.
That's awesome. I love that. You know what? That's the Christ in you. That's the Christ in you. Yes, it is. And we have to talk about this because I love it that, how people, we say, we as African Americans, we tend to say we have nappy hair, and you don't use that term nappy at all. You use other terms for as far as the textures. Talk about the various textures, and I appreciate that because a lot of people, it seems like when we say nappy, it's a negative when it should not be. So I see you tend not to use that term nappy hair as far as African Americans. Talk about the hair textures.
And I really don't like to talk about good hair either.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So, at the end of the day, hair is hair. And what is the beautiful thing about African American hair is that our hair is textured, right? And most people in life, it doesn't matter what race you are, we need texture in our hair. That's how we achieve these amazing and beautiful styles. And so the mere fact that we can go from straight to curly and up to this, that, we're able to do that as a race, particularly. Everybody else can, but we have a better foundation as it relates to texture. Texture comes straight, wavy, right?
Yes.
Curly, or it says overly curly. That's how we learned. Or oftentimes when you're dealing with African textures, then you'll have like the zigzag. So that is how hair comes. That's across the board. Doesn't matter what race you are. And then in between that, you have fine, medium, and coarse. So you can have overly curly hair, but it's fine in texture, right?
Yes.
You can have wavy hair, but it's coarse in texture. So So that's why most oftentimes when we're talking about hair and texture, we dispel the myth of the 4C hair. It is not a across the board, this is for African Americans. A lot of people are coming in saying they have 4C hair, and it's not a real thing. And so when we approach hair at our salon, we approach it as hair, and then we determine specifically the actual products and regimen and style that we're going to achieve with that person as an individual, not putting them in a category, but recognizing that you can have multiple textures on your hair, and so how to approach it with heat or products or whatever.
That's awesome. And then also, like you said, it's important to, like with the consultation, to see what they are talking about. I know sometimes people will mistake, like my hair, and my hair is coarse or it's thick, and sometimes some people, without them checking, and they'll say, oh, you need this type of perm to perm it out. And sometimes I've had it done, and it really straightened too much that it straightened it right out my hair. My hair broke.
Right.
So, like you said, sometimes it can fool you to say that a person has thick hair. It can fool you to say a person's hair is coarse, but yet maybe their hair can't take certain chemicals that they have out there. So I love it that you talk about that, and the consultation is absolutely wonderful. How important also is it to change up your hairstyles? Because sometimes people wear braids all the time. Sometimes people wear a certain way, back and ponytails all the time. Is it important to wear or change up your hairstyle?
I think it's very important. There is a term called repetitious styling, right? So if you have people who, repetitious styling, who constantly pull their hair into a ponytail, constantly pulling into a ponytail, that's repetitious styling. And so what are you doing? You're causing extra stress, right, within the hairline. Plus the middle section, you might be putting additional pressure on there. So if you find that some people who put their hair in a ponytail a lot, they kind of have that little wrinkling at the scalp area, right in that middle part, because it's a constant, pulling the ponytail into that thing. Anyway, repetitious styling. So it's good to switch up the hairstyling when you're wearing braids all the time. I tell my clients, okay, that's fine. Give it a 2-week break. Let's get some good conditioning in there. Maybe you need a protein treatment. Maybe we can do a hydro treatment on your hair. Just let your hair breathe for a minute. Let's blow it out so it can be stretched. Let your scalp breathe some. And that is what I recommend, even when you're used to getting silk presses all the time, right? To make sure there's this thing called style memory, right? Style memory, because hair is protein, it is going to do what you tell it to do. So if you're telling this hair to stay straight, right? Every 2 weeks, every week, whatever the case may be, then that's what that hair is going to eventually stay at. So that's where you find when people are saying, oh, my ends are over-processed, or I have heat damage. Well, you might have heat damage, but you also might have style memory. You've been telling that hair to stay straight for such a long time that is what it's doing. So you'll find that people will be curly from the root to the mid-shaft, and then towards the end it's straight. Well, that hair has been on your head longer. Not to mention, if you have different curl patterns and textures on your head, 450 heat or 350 heat may not adjust well to that finer texture around the nape area, so that's going to stay straight. Plus, you're used to doing ponytails, and you've been telling that hair to stay straight too. So it's not always heat damage, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then with that being said, because of the customers, do you find yourself, does it ever happen where you have to kind of turn them away or say, no, you can't have that on your hair, or because you give the explanation because it will break, it may damage your hair? Sometimes some treatments or some things, like some people may want it colored and different things like that, and sometimes you find yourself that you may have to tell them, no, that's not good for your hair.
I think it's important that a stylist is not ever afraid to turn away money, right? I think they should protect their brand or their professionalism, not for the sake of putting a color on because somebody is asking for it, because they'll run out there and tell everybody that you made their hair fall out, and you knew that was not what you should have done for them. You should have offered them treatments or something like that, or just simply just said your hair is not strong enough for it. So yeah, definitely don't be afraid. I am not afraid to be like, oh, we're going to give it to the summertime and then we'll revisit this moment. Now, I think you can go to another stylist and there it is, but you just have to follow your professionalism or your intuition and be able to say, no, I don't recommend this, but what we can do is that. So if your hair is not strong enough for color, would you like to put some color hair extensions in? I can accentuate your hair with something like that. So you offer them an alternative other than just saying no.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, that time just goes. I tell you the truth. I probably need to do a part 2 with you for sure. But let's talk about this. You know, with you being a TV personality, and of course, like I said, I see that you give different tips on hair coloring and different things pertaining to the hair. I really appreciate that. I mean, you're just beautiful anyway. You're just a beautiful person, and I really appreciate that. Before we go, I have to ask you this question. Leaving your legacy here, and what do you want people to know you as? Like, in your legacy, who is Maisha? What do you want people to know about you?
Right. You know, honestly, I'm a woman of God. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I love what I do. I'm so grateful to be on this earth, and I found purpose in my life. And that is what I'm navigating through right now, purpose life, right? A purpose-driven life. And so being in the hair industry, I adore it. I am so grateful that I'm able to not just have salons, not just offer jobs to people, but created a product line. I'm on TV, right? I'm doing radio interviews, and beyond just the clout of it all, it's really just the purpose. And I'm so grateful to God that I'm able to operate in purpose. So if you want to know anything about me, what you see is what you get. Sometimes I'm reserved, sometimes I'm outgoing, sometimes I'm shy, sometimes I'm bold, but all of them encompasses the image and likeness of God and who He created me to be. So I am who I am, and that's how I'm navigating through life.
I love it. Yes, I love it. Yeah, you have to follow her. You have to give, how do we get in touch with you, and also how do we purchase your products, because you probably are you able to, we can purchase it wherever we are, and then you will ship it to us?
Yes, listen, I want to tell everybody who's listening that you can type in the code Thankful10, and I'll give you 10% off for listening today to this amazing broadcast. You can go to itsmyhairproducts.com, itsmihairproducts.com, and enter the code Thankful10, and you'll receive 10% off just for your listeners on tonight. But also, you can reach us on Instagram, right? Yes. At It's My Hair, ITSMY Hair, or Facebook, It's My Hair Hair Salon. And if you are in the Sacramento area, don't be afraid to call us at 916-568-2222. We will be happy to service you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Give some shout out to the people out there. This is actually going to re-air here at WBGR. Hopefully, we're thinking tomorrow on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. Also, it's going to be on All Nations TV network, on Roku TV worldwide. This Sunday at a set time, this Monday, this Tuesday, and also Wednesday. So they're going to show this over and over and over again. Yeah.
Lovely.
Give some shout outs, Maisha.
Oh, okay. Am I giving shout out to the listeners? Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely. Your family, anybody, yeah.
Oh, okay. Listen, today is my son's graduation. Graduating. He graduated from the 8th grade, so we're about to leave and go play golf with the family. I want to say shout out to my husband and my children and my business partner and just everybody who just believes in me and just decided to listen on tonight, right?
Yeah.
And just want to say shout out to you. You are a beautiful soul. I hear the excitement of what you do and what you love to do in your voice. You do your homework, and that is just a beautiful thing. And so I just want to say I'm glad for just even connecting with you. So shout out to you and the connection that we have made, and everybody that just plays a part in just making things happen. So shout out to It's My Hair in Sacramento, California.
I love it, Maisha. We're going to keep in touch for sure. Like I said, I do watch you, and I love your Thursday. Talk about your Thursday like Bible study. What time does that come on? All that. right before we leave?
Yes, every Thursday I'm on via Zoom. So if you log on to my Facebook, Maisha Helton, you'll receive the Zoom code, and then you can log on. Or I'll upload it to YouTube, and then you can catch the episode. But I'm tuning in. It's actually for a church in Texas, Repairers of the Broken Walls Ministry, Prophet McGraw. But every Thursday, it's at 5 p.m. my time, but 7 p.m. in Texas time. I do a Bible study, and we're just navigating through the Bible and showing our own self-approved, but workmen need not be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth.
Yes,
while we're doing it.
Yes, girl, and keep up the good work. Like I told you, listen, y'all have to see her. She is amazing. She really, she does her homework. And she's just very detailed, and like I said, no monotone, no, very good. I'm telling you, I was like listening to it today, and I was like, wait a minute, and I'm taking it out to my car. I'm still looking and listening to you. I'm like, I can't put this down. You're just that good. I mean, I really appreciate that. The Word of God. I mean, really, and we need, yeah, and we need that, of course, in these days and times with so much going on with the pandemic. And of course, we know that 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn. If they're under condition, if we do this, then He promises He's going to do this. But we got to do what we got to do for Him to do what He got to do. Thank you, Jesus. I love it, Curly. Yes. Have a good one. Okay, that time just goes. I got to see if we can do a part 2. For real.
Yes. Oh, I enjoyed myself with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Have a good one, Maisha, okay?
You have a great evening.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. I tell you, that time just goes. It just goes. She is absolutely wonderful.
Right.
I have to let you see her Bible study because it's on YouTube as well as on her site, her Facebook site. Thursday night she is. Oh my God. Very deep. Go into details. I mean, it's wonderful. That time goes, but let me say this. Next week, we have an author of a book. Her name is Lisa M. Sanchez, and she has, it's a really powerful book as far as her life, dealing with, growing up from childhood and what that did to her in regards to even her adulthood. Very, very deep. Sad, a lot of sadness as well in there, but I think we'll learn from that as well. People always have a story to tell, and it's for a reason, because a lot of times people go through things, tests for a testimony, to help others, whether you're going through that, and that that you're not by yourself. Things do happen in life that can make us who we are, because of what we've gone through.
And and we can overcome it.
We can overcome it.
Because everything is temporary.
Everything is temporary.
It has a beginning.
Come on here.
And it has an end.
Come on here.
So,
and if we can keep that in mind, that's like I told you, nuggets from my mom. I tell you, yeah. If we can keep that in mind, to know that this too shall pass, that it's just a temporary thing, then and just keep that in mind, because it just seems like it's so permanent. It looks like it's just going on and on and on. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's coming, and you will get your relief and your reward. Just hanging in there, and also putting Christ first. How about that? Yeah, do that for sure.
As a matter of fact, just be patient.
Just be patient and wait. The patience of Job. Come on here. Yes. Let me do my goodbyes, because time just goes. I tell you, I love Maisha. My gosh, she's so awesome. She just is. To the Nigerians, Odabo, bye. Spanish, adios. French, au revoir. Indian people, Velosta. Koreans, Ani Kaseo. The Pakistan, Allah Hafaz. To the Chinese, to the Vietnamese people, and also the Ethiopians and Chinese, those say ciao. To the Italians, Arrivederci. Russians, das vidanya. And also all the English people over the world. Bye. Take care. See you later next week. You don't want to miss my show. Please repost and share. This was just a wonderful show. And let's patronize our own as well, because like I said, Maisha, she will ship it wherever, and of course, again, this is going to re-air again on All Nations TV, Roku TV worldwide. Sunday will be at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wherever you are in the world, that's the time. Just convert it to that where you are. Mondays it'll be 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday will be 11 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Wednesdays it's early in the morning, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But like I said, it may be 5 p.m. somewhere else in the world. It depends on where you are. Okay, have a good one, people. Take care. Stay safe, stay cool, because it's warm here. I don't know how it is other places, but woo, it's hot. Drink plenty of fluid if you can, if you don't have a problem with your kidneys or if you don't have a cardiac issue. Right. Consult your doctor with that and see how much. All right, take care, people. Bye.
Welcome back to Good Day. Now, we got a chance to tag along with It's My Hair Salon as they ambushed a couple of unsuspecting women with surprise makeovers. Now, earlier this morning, we showed you the shock on Sharice's face. Well, now it's Ruby's turn. No, this is not the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. This is my Helton with It's My Hair Salon. Okay, this is a very special ambushee.
Very special.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have Ruby. Ruby's been going through some changes in her life, and so she's newly engaged.
Okay.
But she was married for 34 years, and then she became a widow, but now she's engaged. Her niece, Ely, wants to surprise her with a makeover. She says she's the matriarch of the family, and she's just constantly giving herself to everyone. And so we wanted to do this for her and surprise her with a makeover.
Well, let's do it. Come on.
Hi! Are you Ruby? Yes. How are you? Oh my God! How are you? So of course, I'm Mai from It's My Hair Salon,
and I'm Courtney from Good Day.
Where's the boyfriend? So before we go any further, I wanted you to open up this card. Great. Ah!
It says you're getting a makeover.
Ely, tell us why you wanted to give Miss Ruby a makeover.
My Aunt Ruby is the glue to our family.
I'm sorry.
She's always cared about everybody and always put us all before her. She never really takes time for herself, and we always can go to her for support, advice, anything. She's the glue to our family. When no one else has your back and your support, it's always my Aunt Ruby who does. And I just felt like you're so deserving of this. I wish I could give you more, but I love you.
Stuff. Where's the tissue? All right, so Miss Aunt Ruby is going to get all dolled up during the 8 and 9 o'clock hours, as well as Sharice. And we've got a live picture now from It's My Hair Salon in Natomas, where the makeover festivities are underway. So that's Sharice there in the chair. We introduced you to her in the 5 o'clock hour, and that's Miss Ruby, who Mai is doing. Oh, look, looks like she's doing a full head installation. So we'll get to see exactly what the game plan is for both ladies coming up in the next hour, and the finished product in the 9 o'clock hour, guys. I'm so excited. I love a good makeover. But an ambush before the makeover is even better. It's fantastic. Ken, I was telling them earlier, Sharice thought that we were from the show Cheaters, and she was like, I'm not cheating on anybody. Right. Why are they coming out of the bush?